This is Jeff Beal, the business guru, coming to you from downtown Manila, where it's stinking hot today. But that's another story. I've got an awesome guest today, and he's from somewhere where I haven't been yet, but I'm going to go. I want to go over there and drive a Ferrari. They got a Ferrari club over there where you can drive a Ferrari, guys, for a few $100s. His name is Rick Houghton, and Rick is a transformational coach and founder of Life Solutions. The company name, Life Solutions, Rick Houghton Coaching and training. He's been in this field in one way or another, guys, for over 30 years. Now think what he might know. He might know stuff that you don't know. So why not reach out and have a virtual cup of coffee? Costs you nothing to have a cup of coffee, guys. And you might learn something. I help midlife men, and he's talking about from 35 up in his case, build masculine and authenticity, that's a tough one, through bold coaching, transformational challenges, and ground masculine leadership work. I guide men out of silent frustration and back to unapologetic clarity. That's what we all need, guys, a bit of clarity at home and at work and within themselves. Another aspect of the business is leadership development. I work with teams to build cohesion and understanding that drive success in the company. I also work with leaders and potential leaders. And you're all leaders, guys. You've all got the potential. You just need to find it, right? Key achievements, a 5-day challenge, which is starting mid-June. His personal motto or philosophy, a man is nothing without faith. Less is more. Rick and I spoke about that a little while before we came on. That's about himself. He worked in the education industry for 40 plus years, working as a teacher, lecturer, corporate trainer. I also participated in aquatics, just get my tongue tied today, aquatics with distinction, and started at Olympic diving in Oman. Pretty awesome stuff, Rick. So welcome to the stage, Rick. Good to see you here, my friend.
Thank you, Jeff. Thanks for inviting me.
No, you're most welcome. Let me get my little sheet here, which I've buried under a mountain of paper. I've got a busy day today. Let's get the show underway. Tell us about your journey and what inspired you to pursue your current career path. Where did that all come about?
Well, I'd always been helping people with tidbits on how to improve their life. And in 2022, I walked out of the classroom, vowed never to go back and never to work for another person. So I've decided to work for myself.
Yes.
One of the things that really inspired me to leave was the fact that people were telling me how to do my job. And I didn't appreciate that, especially when they're not qualified. I don't tell the doctor how to do the operation.
Correct.
So you don't tell me how to do my job. So a good friend of mine, she had always seen the potential for me to take all my life experience and put it into a form of coaching. And that's what I did. I started a coaching business where I now help, I was generally trying to help teachers and other just general people, which I still do. I have no problem helping them. But my focus now, my niche, as you would call it, is midlife men, 35 plus. And why these people and what about these men? These are the men that kind of get overlooked. You know, they don't get promoted at work. They feel they're unheard, they're undervalued, they feel dispassionate about life. And I want to help them realize that actually there's nothing wrong with them. They've just been silent too long, and they need to live life without apology. There's no reason for them to be making excuses for their behavior.
That's right.
You know, if they understand themselves, they can best lead themselves and those around them. And I've seen the difference in my own life, having gone through that. You know, I was changing so often, so many times for people that I was losing myself, who I am. One of my friends, actually, I resigned from a job early in the 2000s. And she said to me after 2 days, she said, "Oh my God, you got such an amazing sense of humor. Why have I never seen this?" And I realized then that there was problems in my life and I needed to sort them out. And that's when I began to go through the transformation of, hey, you know what? I'm Rick. This is me. There's nothing wrong with me. I don't need to be some coded individual for society. I am part of society. I communicate within society, but at the same time, I'm the individual. I'm the individual. I'm okay. I'm okay.
I love it.
And that's when I realized that less is more. You know, you don't pack on more stuff. Like you got an issue with something, you just do more work. When that's not working, you just do more work. No, actually, you need to do less work because there's more of you to come out. And that more of you can actually take care of the issues.
I can relate to it all. 13 years ago, I left Australia. I was doing very, very well. Well before COVID, I was doing very well. And I left my 40 fair weather friends. I took them all for dinner. And I said to them, I won't be back while I got a hole in my bum. And I threw one of my best friends the keys to my $50,000 boat. So I'm going by plane. I won't be needing the boat. So you can have that. And off I went. And they all laughed and said, oh, you'll be back. And I've never been back since, guys. And 1 week after I arrived here, I even surprised myself. It just came from nowhere. True story. I was walking down the street whistling. I'd never whistled in my life. Here I was, like a bird. I was whistling. So it was like the happy chap had arrived. And guys, I've never looked back, never been happier. And now I don't have a job, guys. I've got a passion, just like Rick. We've got a passion. When you've got a passion, you don't work, guys. It's just fun. Right? So find your passion. Reach out to people like Rick and see if you can find your passion, guys. What's been the most challenging aspect of your work, Rick, and how have you overcome that?
Setting up a new business, especially in a foreign country where I'm not familiar with the language, and B, the dealings, because yeah, it can be quite frustrating because the law changes all the time. And that's the one aspect, more practical aspect. The other aspect is actually, because I've been messing around with different niches and different clientele, I've lost the time to actually get in front and to meet these men that need help. And gentlemen, let me say this to you, if you're listening, you need to be able to talk. We don't talk enough. We're told that it's weak to talk. And I want to say and encourage to you, it's okay. You can talk. You need to talk. And whether you're with your wife, a partner, husband, whatever,
Yes.
you need to talk. And so it's been very difficult trying to get clientele to come and engage with me, although it's improving now because now I'm more focused. And I don't have time, Jeff. I don't have time. There's a whole range of men out there that I want to help.
Yes.
And I need to get on my, I want people to be men with integrity. I was once told that integrity is all about, it comes from the word integer. And as I'm a maths teacher by trade, integer means whole. So integrity means a whole person, whole man.
Let me tell you a quick story. I've bought 5 so far. I've bought 5 watches of people I like. And on the back of each watch has been the word integrity. True story. And one of them went off the rails about 8, 9 months ago. So I sent him an email and said, my friend, can you do me a favor? Go to the engraver, take off that word integrity and put the word respect. I could see he'd lost his integrity. Right? I wanted to try and get it back, because he just, people change, and he had changed, and not for the better. So what I wanted him to get, my lesson was get back to respect. If you can't have integrity, at least have respect, right?
Absolutely.
Tell me, an important moment in your career, I guess you got fed up with the school, I guess, but an important moment in your career that changed your direction.
I think it was having coffee with my friend, and when she told me you've got an amazing sense of humor, I think something cracked inside of me, and I realized that I wasn't being true to myself. I was playing from a very diminished capacity as a person, and particularly as a man. And so I decided to then embark on my journey to find what that authenticity is, what that integrity is, and to live that abundant life.
I had this story, you'll love this one. I had a girlfriend years ago who was a very bright girl, extremely bright. She was one of only two headmasters, all about schools, in a school. Only two in Australia were female. Right? She was one of them. And she was a really beautiful girl and very sexy. What she did, she had to do, she wore baggy clothes and put her hair back in a bun, really prim and proper, and looked like an old maid, honest to God. And when she came home, she'd throw off her baggy clothes, she'd shake her hair out and become a beauty again. And she played that role every day. Interesting, eh?
Yeah, it's crazy what people do.
Yeah, because if she'd gone
Survive.
looking sexy, she probably wouldn't have got the role. She would have probably been, people would have been, pushing her down or, but because she looked prim and proper, she fitted into what society wanted her to be. And she was good at playing that. I was amazed. I was so young now. I was about 25 or 26, but I was amazed at what she could do. Right? Pretty amazing story. Tell us, in your opinion, what are the key qualities and skills that have contributed to your amazing success?
One, I'm passionate about people. I love meeting new people.
Yeah, me too. Lovely.
It's nothing for me to strike up a conversation with a stranger.
Yeah.
And part of those conversations, I'm always looking for their pain point,
Yes.
as we call it in the industry. But not only that, to have the empathy. I think empathy is more than just sympathy for the person.
Sure.
It's actually really knowing and then realizing that these people are on a journey trajectory as I was, similar, not the same, because we all walk our own different walks in life, but we can walk similar walks, and realizing that these people need help. And I think that's where I like to take my skills, and sometimes it's just some free advice where you can take it or leave it, and sometimes it will lead into a more decent conversation of how can I help you, and
That's
where best we can.
For that very reason. You meet so many interesting people when you travel, as you know.
Yeah, and the most amazing thing is, I like to think of myself as a coffee shop coach.
I love that one.
Because my office is really a coffee shop, although I do a lot of online work. But when I meet people in the coffee shop, if I'm meeting them face to face, I'll always coach them face to face in a coffee shop.
Just 1 second. Let me steal that from her. Just 1 second. Let me steal. I love that. Funny enough, I've been going to do coffee stories every Friday, so you now inspired me to do so. Let me write that down. Coffee shop coach. I love that. It's a great title, by the way. So when you see it, you'll know Jeff stole it.
No problem.
Coach. Lovely. Tell me, how do you stay motivated and continue to innovate in your field? What's your secret there?
Well, for the innovation is I'm a lifelong learner.
Good.
So you once said to me that you don't know what you don't know.
That's right.
So I'm always learning. I'm always finding out.
It cost me $20,000 for that
one. Thanks. I'll charge you $50,000 for the coffee coach. And how do I stay motivated? I'm always looking for new people, listening to their stories, and trying to find people I can help.
That's why this podcast is so much fun, because every man and woman's got a story. And guys, if you're watching this, come on board and tell us your story. Everyone's got a story. Tell us a recent project or achievement you're particularly proud of amongst your many that you've done.
Oh, there's so many. But relating to this particular podcast, I'm currently doing a 5-day challenge. I'm running it for men, and I decided to change the format of the 5-day challenge. So instead of coming on at a specific time, specific date, you can now sign up with me and you do the 5-day challenge whenever you want to do the 5-day challenge. As long as you show up and you
Still 5
keep
days.
5 days.
Is it still 5 days?
Pardon?
Is it still 5 days?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's 5 days in a row. And you can do it in any way you want to do it. And then what I do is I go through the challenge with you over the 5 days, and I invite you then to join into the group, the Authentic Man Brotherhood. And then what we do is I'm busy working on a new project, which I was telling you about, which is
Awesome.
a retreat in end of November, beginning December, here in Oman, and it will be 7 days of pure enjoyment of crossing the desert on a camel. It sounds weird, but lots to do in that time.
It's camel riding, like riding a horse or what?
I actually don't know. I've never ridden a camel.
Oh, so you've been putting it together and you haven't tried it out yet.
Actually, I did ride a camel, but it was like literally 10 minutes. Yeah, they're very interesting animals to work with. Pardon?
Must feel like you're a long way up. Like they look like they're pretty tall.
Yeah, they are. They are tall. But nonetheless, they're fun. They're fun to ride.
That'd be a bit of a laugh. I think that'd be awesome. So, what advice would you give someone, a younger version of yourself, if they're going to follow in your footsteps? What advice would you give them?
Never stop asking questions.
That's a good one. Yeah, love it.
And don't ever think you've arrived, because you've always got something new to learn.
Yes. And trust your gut. Your gut's a second brain. I've only learned this in the last 5 years, guys. Your gut is your second brain. If it doesn't feel right, it's probably not right. So trust your gut. Trust your gut, guys.
Exactly.
It's your second brain. It's trying to warn you about it. Trust your body. If you start to ache, you're aching for a reason. You're getting the flu, you've slept badly, whatever. You know, you've got a bad chair, whatever. Trust your body and trust your gut, guys. They're my 2 pieces of advice for you. Looking ahead, what are your goals and aspirations for the future?
Sorry?
Your goals and aspirations for the future.
Oh, I want to help as many men as I can.
Lovely.
And I want to have at least 5 office spaces, that is, with coaches, dedicated coaches to help people in 5 major centers throughout Asia, Europe, and South America, Africa.
Yeah, I love it. It's a great mission because women, you know, guys, women seem to live longer than us. Women network, they help each other, they tell each other their problems. What do men do? They get into the shed and hit the bottle or whatever, and keep it all internally. It's a man's thing, right? They think, oh, I can't reach out for help. It's a sign of weakness. No, guys, it's a smart thing to do. Get it off your chest. It's a smart thing to do. Ask your friend. Ask a stranger, right? Ask someone to get some help, guys. You don't need to do these things alone. And people like our good friend Rick here are there to help you. All you got to do is jump on a call, guys. Cup of coffee, cost you nothing. Jump on a call, see if you resonate with Rick, and he can put you in the right direction, as he's done for many people before. Tell us, Rick, how can our listeners and people watching this podcast, what's the best way for them to reach out and have a chat to you? What's the best idea how they can do that?
They can find me on Facebook.
Yep.
Rick Houghton.
Yep.
They can also email me directly.
Background, you'll see his name in the background there. Yep.
And they can also email me, info@rickhoughton.com or info@lifesoul.co. Or just check out my webpage, rickhoughton.com, and you can book a coffee chat or a power chat there.
Fantastic. And we'll be putting Rick's whole details all across social media, guys, on Facebook, LinkedIn, Quora, Reddit, and of course YouTube, with all of Rick's social media links under this recording. So reach out to him. He's a very interesting man, and I'm sure he can teach you a lot. So reach out, cost you nothing to have a chat. Tell me, is it great conversations? We chatted for half hour before the show, so we've had a lot of fun together, a lot of setbacks as well, but we overcame those. Rick, tell us, before we wrap it up, tell us a fun fact about yourself that most people don't know.
I attended the Olympic Games in 1992.
So in what capacity?
Athlete.
Right. Awesome. Awesome. That's a great fact. So, guys, if you were on 15 minutes of fame, think about it, guys. A TV commercial would set you back $30,000, right? They'd probably go and make a sandwich or grab a beer or go to the toilet while the commercial was on. And if you had 10 radio spots in your city, $3,000 to $5,000. Bad news, they play them at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning when no one's listening. If you come on 15 minutes of fame, we'll put you across all the social media channels and potentially put you in front of thousands of people who some of them may become your client. So please feel free to reach out, just like Rick here today has done. Thanks very much for being on the show today, Rick. It's been a pleasure.